The sisters, Spider and Jessie, cry as they find their mother, who had been abusing substances, lying lifeless in the living room. They decide not to tell anyone and drag the body to the shed. Jessie, the younger of the two at 11, suggests saying a few words as a farewell and removes the pendant from their mother's neck. Despite everything, the girl still loves her mother deeply. 15-year-old Spider remains silent. If anyone finds out, the sisters could be separated and sent to different foster homes. That's why they won't tell a soul. The older sister can't let Jessie live apart from her. They try to come to terms with the loss and go on as if nothing happened. Suddenly their mother's phone rings. It's Reese, her dealer. Spider rejects the call. The sisters get ready for school. Spider tells Jessie not to wear their mother's pendant outside the house, or people will start asking questions. From now on, they always keep the door locked. At school, the girl makes her little sister promise not to tell anyone. Still, Spider confides in her best and only friend, Alexis, asking her to keep the secret. Alexis thinks it's a bad idea. Sooner or later someone will notice, maybe a social worker. Spider says she'll handle it. Later at home, when Miss Foley, Jessie's classmate's mother, drops her off, Spider grows uneasy. She reminds her sister that they have to be more careful. What if Miss Foley had asked to use the bathroom? Spider has been replacing their mother for Jessie for a long time, long before the tragedy. The girl is hungry, and Spider prepares a meager dinner from the few remaining groceries. They need to make it through 6 more days, until the welfare check arrives. Reese shows up, making it clear he won't leave until he sees Jessie. Spider says their mother isn't home. Reese asks why her car is still there. The girl lies, saying some woman picked their mother up an hour ago. Reese senses Spider isn't telling the whole truth. Still, he has to leave empty-handed. The sisters realize he'll be back soon. Terrified, Jessie runs to the shed in tears, to the box where their mother's body lies. Spider follows and hugs her. Jessie asks what they're going to do. The girl says that once Reese figures out their mother isn't into substances anymore, he'll move on to someone else. When the welfare money comes, the sisters go to the store and buy all kinds of treats. Cody, a young cashier, can't take his eyes off Spider. The sisters sit in the yard, laughing and eating treats, trying in any way they can to distract themselves from what's happening in their lives. Suddenly they notice Cody taking pictures of them. The young man tries to explain that he didn't mean anything bad by it. At that moment his boss calls him. The break is over. Sometimes Jessie feels that her sister isn't sad at all about their mother's death. There's a knock at the door. The girls fear it's Reese returning, but it's only Matthew, the new assistant pastor. He hands them a brochure, inviting them to attend church. It's part of a youth outreach program. Of course Spider has no intention of going, but Jessie feels differently. The girl believes their mother doesn't deserve to lie in the shed. It's not Christian. Spider tears up the brochure, telling her sister not to fill her head with nonsense. Jessie remembers how sometimes they used to go to church for Easter or Christmas. Their mother would be in one of her better periods then. The girl recalls those times fondly. Spider can barely hold back her tears, only saying they're lucky to have that shed. Jessie wants to believe that none of this is real, that their mother isn't really there. In the middle of the night, Spider wakes up to the sound of her mother's voice. Of course it was only a nightmare. In the morning Jessie's phone rings again. It's Paula Dickinson from Social Services. And she'll be there within the hour. The sisters begin hastily cleaning the house. Naturally Paula Dickinson will ask where their mother is, but Spider will think of something. When she finds their mother's old teaching license among her things, she feels a wave of sadness. It's hard to believe Jessie was ever a teacher. It feels like a lifetime ago. The girls decide to say their mother is at a job interview. But that won't sound convincing if Jessie's car is still parked by the house. Spider doesn't know how to drive, yet somehow she manages to move the car away. When Paula Dickinson arrives, the girls insist in unison that their mother is doing much better. The refrigerator is full, which satisfies Paula completely, though she also wants to take a look at Jessie's room. Everything appears normal, and Paula leaves. She still has 4 more home visits today. But Jessie needs to call her soon. Spider reassures her sister, telling her that Paula will soon forget about them. Social workers are constantly being replaced. Sheriff Ben Jeffries arrives at the scene of a car crash. The married couple is dead, but their children have survived. Despite many years on the force, Ben has never gotten used to sights like this. He has a teenage daughter, Alexis. Spider often spends time at their house. Ben also has a son Taylor, and a loving wife Jen. They're a normal family, something Spider has never had. Ben offers to give the girl a ride home since it's already dark. She tries to politely decline. Alexis, who knows the terrible truth, tenses up as well. Ben ends up driving Spider home. The girl lies, saying everything is fine, that her mother is looking for a job. Jessie gets angry at Spider for breaking their main rule, the one she herself established: never let anyone close to the house. The girl admits she messed up. Now the sisters have to stick together if they're going to make it through this. Jessie isn't sure they can keep it a secret for long. Spider already realizes they won't be able to stay in this town much longer. She begins thinking about moving away. When Cody sees Spider at the store again, he's happy. At the register, he hands her a photograph he took the day before, even though she'd told him not to. Cody suggests they take pictures together sometime, but she just takes the groceries and leaves. Jessie can't understand why Spider is so angry at their mother. She was sick and needed help. But Spider insists it was their mother's choice. She abandoned them, choosing to give in to her weakness. Jessie wants to believe their mother is watching over them from heaven. Maybe she comes to them as a ladybug, or something else. The girl suffers from asthma, and her older sister makes sure the inhaler is always filled. When Jessie sees the photograph, she says how beautiful it is. It's obvious Cody really likes Spider, even if she won't admit it. Jessie starts teasing her, saying she's just a coward if she can't even go out with a boy. In the end, Spider gives in and agrees. They meet the next day. The girl gets on Cody's bike with hesitation, but during the ride as the wind blows through her hair, she feels a strange sense of freedom. On the way, they stop by a motel, and Cody hands the photos to his acquaintance Dennis, who's involved in shady dealings. When the guy suggests they go into the woods together, Spider hesitates. Cody assures her there's nothing to worry about, and she eventually follows him. There, he teaches her how to use a professional camera. The forest is the perfect place to take beautiful pictures. Sheriff Ben Jeffries knocks on Jesse's door, but no one answers. No one has seen the woman for a while, and that troubles him. His eyes fall on the shed, but just then he's called over the radio. Cody shows Spider how to develop film. He says he loves looking at people, seeing a special kind of beauty in each of them. The girl is fascinated. She's never met a guy like Cody before. Still, she doesn't let him drive her all the way home. He gives her a digital camera, for practice. At home, Jessie grins slyly and asks how the date went. Spider says it wasn't a date, yet her cheeks turn red. The sisters seem to have learned how to live on their own. But things take a darker turn when Reese shows up, demanding to know why Jesse's ignoring his calls. Spider firmly says their mother doesn't want anything to do with him anymore. Reese smirks maliciously, warning them not to push their luck. Jessie owes him $300, and he wants it by Friday. Otherwise he'll come over, and no one will like how that turns out. Spider tries to figure out what to do next. She goes to a pawn shop to sell Cody's digital camera and their mother's pendant, because the money's run out and the next welfare payment is still far away. Spider hopes that once the payment comes in, she'll buy the items back. Dinner is plain pasta with no canned food. The girl tells her sister there's no money left on the card, and that tonight she's going to meet Reese to pay him. Summoning all her courage, Spider walks to the trailer where Reese lives and hands him the money. But he knows Jessie would never have let her daughter come to him, especially alone. So Spider must be lying when she says her mother's in rehab. Not wanting to stay another second, the girl hurries away. She runs into the shed and screams how much she hates her mother. All this time Jessie has been waiting for her sister's return. They hug tightly. Jessie's biggest fear was that Spider wouldn't come back, that something had happened to her. They can only hope Reese will leave them alone now. The next day Spider searches online whether it's possible to adopt a younger sibling. Either way, it could only happen once she turns 18. Of course she doesn't tell Jessie about her plans. The girl is worried that their mother's pendant is missing. Spider vaguely says it will turn up sooner or later. Jessie's phone receives a voicemail from Ben. He wants her and the girls to stop by. Spider goes to Dennis, asking if he can make fake documents. She needs to be legally of age. Dennis names his price, but Spider can't afford it. She hopes he'll understand her situation. That evening Alexis comes over to visit. Jessie's phone pings again, another message from Reese. The girl confides in Alexis that she and Jessie will soon be leaving, going somewhere no one knows them. Spider plans to adopt her younger sister and start over. With a birth certificate, she'll be able to enroll Jessie in school. Alexis says she'll miss her terribly. Spider returns to the pawn shop to buy back the pendant and the camera. But the camera has already been sold. She has to buy another one, which leaves her with no money for the pendant. She stops by the store where Cody works and gives him the camera, admitting she never took a single photo. But he realizes it's a different camera, and without asking questions, he suggests they try it out together. She hesitantly agrees. They have a wonderful time, taking pictures of nature and riding his bike. Spider has a hard time trusting people, but Cody seems so genuine. She can feel something changing inside her. Jessie notices it too. For the first time she sees her sister's hair tied up in a ponytail instead of hanging loose like usual. Suddenly there's a loud, insistent knock at the door. It's Paula Dickinson, arriving unannounced this time. She wants to see Jessie, but no one answers. Paula looks around the yard and peers through the gap between the boards of the shed. She tries to open the door, but it's locked. The sisters hide inside, keeping perfectly still. Jessie is tired of hiding and thinks maybe they should tell Paula and everyone the truth. But Spider is completely against it. She goes to the motel, but Dennis isn't there. His girlfriend says he's at a court hearing, something about getting his parental rights restored. In any case, the documents aren't ready yet. The relationship between the sisters grows more strained. Jessie keeps searching for the pendant. Spider admits she sold it. Jessie is furious. Unable to take it anymore, Spider screams that their mother never loved them, that she never cared about them, that the only thing she ever wanted was her next high. The sisters argue, and Jessie runs out of the house in tears. At that moment she suffers an asthma attack. Her inhaler is empty, and she collapses. When Spider finds her, she panics and calls an ambulance. But every second counts, so she rushes Jessie to the emergency room herself. Since Spider is a minor, the doctors can't give her any information without a legal guardian present. The girl cries, saying it's not fair. The hospital administration calls the sheriff. Ben comforts Spider, assuring her that Jessie is safe and will be discharged soon. Ben asks her to tell him honestly where their mother is. Spider begs the sheriff not to take them away. If they do, the sisters will be separated. The girls are reunited. Ben plans to take them to his house and then talk to their mother. Tonight the girls are staying at the Jeffries house. Spider can't sleep, thinking about what will happen if the truth comes out. While the children are asleep, Ben and his wife discuss what to do. Jen believes the girls shouldn't be sent back to JC. They could stay with them until a foster family is found. The next morning Ben drives everyone to school. Spider knows that if she and her sister don't run away today, they never will. Alexis, who worked as a babysitter over the summer, hands Spider some money. The girls hug tightly before saying goodbye. Then Spider goes to Dennis and collects the documents. When the older sister demands that Jessie start packing right away, the girl is confused. Spider shouts that they're leaving, that they'll start a new life somewhere no one will ever find them. But Jessie refuses to go until they bury their mother properly. At that moment Reese appears. Spider manages to lock the door, but he breaks it down. Reese has already figured out that Jessie is dead and that her daughters have been hiding it. He's willing to keep their secret, for $200 a month. But that's not the only reason he came. He wouldn't mind having some fun. The girl fights back, and Jessie rushes to help her. In the struggle Spider knocks Reese out with a bat. In the end the sisters decide not to run away. They call the police and watch as their mother's body is carried out of the shed. Ben says he's sorry. He doesn't judge Spider, knowing she only wanted to keep the family together. Soon the funeral takes place. Matthew, the assistant pastor, delivers the eulogy. The sisters say goodbye to their mother, forever. Alexis has made mini hot dogs to cheer them up. Cody comes by to support Spider. He knows what happened but understands why she didn't call the police right away. He asks what her real name is. The girl answers, Sadie. Long ago, her mother gave her that nickname because she reminded her of the spider from a children's rhyme. The girl has bought back her mother's pendant from the pawn shop. Inside are photos of the sisters. She puts the pendant around her neck. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel not to miss more exciting new products. Also, the authors will be pleased if you leave your opinion in the comments.